And this gets into the fire at the terminal. And I'm going to hand the mic back over to you. What is the recovery from, and I did hear you at the press conference this morning. I was thrilled and privileged to be at that press conference. Do we have any deficiencies, and have they been taken care of as a result of the fire at the terminal? And this person says, I've been hearing problems of east side routes, especially the MAC Route 31.
I'll take the fire first. Every engine that runs on the transit vehicles has a minimum of 4 turbochargers, and they run really hot. And the reason for that is for environmental purposes. They all burn in the engine, and it works really well. Normally you have fire suppression systems that are on that, and it's not unusual for engines, periodically you have not wholesale fires, but you'll have issues with them. Well, you know, these were the oldest vehicles that DDOT had, and they're in their 13th year, 11th, 12th, 13th year. And for whatever reason, they decided back then not to purchase the bus with fire suppression system.
Oh, yeah.
And so everyone assumed, all of our current management, that because you don't buy buses without fire suppression systems. So we have a number of vehicles. They're all older. All these vehicles that burnt were scheduled to be retired this year. So that worked out well. And we have, I hope there's no press here. And then we have 20 new buses coming in June, and we're actually right now a little bit over our 20% maintenance reserve, so it's a good thing. The real heroes, though, quite honestly, in all of this, were the men and women who drove all the rest of the buses out, you know, all the new buses, because that could have been just horrible. And I have to tell you that smoke was literally in the terminal, and they're driving these vehicles out through the smoke. The Detroit Fire Department they were wonderful to work with. But it didn't really end there, because, you know, there was a lot of water, and it was very cold, and so it was icy in and around there. In many cases, those buses were parked 2, 3, 4 blocks away to get them out of there. And, you know, the drivers reported for duty. They told them, your bus is 2 blocks down the water. They went and picked up their bus, and they operated. We ran a little bit late on that Friday, but by the afternoon we were running, and we didn't miss a single trip, which is just amazing. And so that's a good news story. And then the other thing we're doing is we have our insurance company going through to look and see if there's any practices that we could do differently. And unfortunately, it's not all that uncommon in our business. I think Fort Smith, Arkansas lost 2/3 of their fleet 2 weeks ago. It's not usually that common, but it's something, again, that, you know, and there's a few decisions that were made a number of years ago that we've kind of scratched our head with, and that was one of them, but we're taking care of that right away. We have an emergency procurement, but we're also keeping those buses segregated away from the rest of them. So that's a good news story for us. On the MAC service, not very aware. I'll give you my business card. We can talk. Love to talk to you about it. The way you fix bus service is you fix one complaint at a time. So my other pitch is 313-933-1300. Call us. Let us know what the complaint is. If you have our bus app, you can file a complaint on there. I read every single one of those and take care of them myself. So if you got an issue, let us know. Bus number, time of day, route, and what it is. And trust me, it's wonderful having cameras on buses, not only for security, but quite honestly to be able to monitor how that service is. And quite honestly, to be honest with you, 2/3 of the time our drivers are in the right. But it's amazing how folks will see it a little bit different. So that's really why I like those cameras also.